Hello and welcome to Tech Hub, your one-stop platform for all things tech in Africa. My name is Mercy Frank. I am always glad and excited when it's Friday. Why? Because Nigerians, Africans, and the rest of the world get to learn how to use technology to impact their society, community, and whatever challenges they have. All right, as I go on, remember, the resurgence of COVID-19 is here. Please take responsibility for your health and that of your family. It is very important to wash your hands as regularly as possible, wear your face mask, maintain physical distancing. If you don't need to go out, then please stay in your house. Protect yourself from the deadly coronavirus. The conversation goes on beyond this place. We are live streaming on YouTube at Silverbird N24 and also on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. You can send in your comments, questions, to us at Silverbird N24. I am at Mercy Frank on all socials. Well, what do we have for today? There's a bizarre story I heard of how a lady's contact on Facebook was robbed of almost 4 million naira. I mean, what the guy did was to clone her Facebook page. And guess what? She robbed her contact of that amount of money. She'll be coming on the show to talk to us of her experience. And thereafter, we'll be having a digital media expert that will be coming to tell us how we can avoid such things, because they are absolutely avoidable. And he'll be telling us how to ensure that our online lives are safe from harm. Before then, let's just go for a break. And when we come back, I'll tell you more that you need to know on the show. It is the, third week of January, right? And so much has been happening. By the way, if you're just joining us, this is Tech Hub, your one-stop platform for all things tech in the continent. So much has happened in the first week of, in the first 3 weeks of 2021. Now, let's see what has happened in the global scene. And this is the Global Tech Update.
President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered that no subscriber should be blocked from telecoms operators' network till February 9th. Although this news made some Nigerians happy, some others are concerned about the way the government keeps pushing the date, which initially was December 30th, 2020 to January 19th, 2021, and now to February 9th, 2021. Meanwhile, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, so far a total of 47.8 million NINs have been collected by the mobile operator. An international group of scientists is demanding scientific journals demand more transparency from researchers in computer-related areas when accepting their reports for publication. They also want computational researchers to include information about their code, models, and computational environments in published reports. This has thrown the sector into a debate session, as one school of thought says what researchers are doing with artificial intelligence is phenomenal and is leading to technological breakthroughs, some of which are going to be covered by patent protection. So, not all the information is going to be available for testing. Some others say just because it is AI doesn't mean it is 100% safe. Android users may soon be able to access and use iMessage. This might happen courtesy of Beepa, a new universal chat app that attempts to unify 15 different chat platforms into a single interface. The PC market ended 2020 with a big bang, as shipments during the final quarter rose 25% over the same period in 2019. A research firm, Canalys, released this report. It is said shipments of desktops, notebooks, and workstations reached a record of 90.3 million units during the period. Jack Ma is back. Jack Ma, founder of Ant Group, owner of giant e-commerce firm Alibaba, just made his first public appearance in months as his tech empire continues to face scrutiny from Chinese regulators. He resurfaced Wednesday in a video published by Chinese state media while speaking to teachers in rural China as part of his philanthropic event. Ma had not made a public appearance for social media posts since late October. I'm sure Mercy Frank will be super glad on hearing this. All right, back to Mercy.
super happy. Jack Ma is back. You remember in the last episode, I said wherever Jack Ma was, please let the world look for him and bring him back, because he's supporting thousands and thousands of people and creating lots of jobs, both in Asia and in every other part of the continent. So it's good news. I'm so happy he's back. Jack Ma, welcome back. All right. As I said earlier on, something happened to a friend of mine, and she shared with me how her Facebook page was cloned and somebody used it to gain so much millions of naira. And guess what? She will tell us more of a story. This is where I'm going to welcome my guest for today, Chinemema Omesika. She is a youth mentor. She does a whole lot with youth, and she does a whole lot of encouraging posts on her Facebook page, and to find out that such a person's Facebook page would be cloned and somebody churned out millions out of it, it's something that we all should take note about. And Ola Afolabi will be joining us to talk. He's a digital media expert, and he will be talking to us about how much we can put to ensure that our pages do not get cloned, cybercrime does not, affect us, and the rest of them. So, joining us virtually, it's a virtual world now, is Chinemema Omesika. Thanks for joining us on Tech Hub, Chinemema.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. I learned you are somewhere in the south, right?
Yeah, southeast.
Southeast. Oh, that's great. So talk to us about your experience with the Facebook cloning. Just break it down for us. Let's understand it to show that everybody can be affected by this thing.
Okay, so I don't even know how to go about it, but my Facebook was hacked, and so the first thing they did was to hack it. Unfortunately, I was the one that gave them the number. I was so removed that day. I was very busy, and someone called me from the blues. The person sounded like very familiar, like as if he's one of my volunteers, and he said somebody's trying to hack your Facebook. Please be careful. Blah blah blah. And I said, thank you very much for the information. And I was driving, so I really wanted to get the person out of, so that I can concentrate in driving. I didn't want to pick calls, and so the person said, okay, there's a number coming into your phone. Just help me call it very quickly. I called the first two numbers. They said, just finish calling it so that I would be sure that's the number. And in my head, it didn't occur to me, and because I was driving, so I wasn't looking at my phone immediately. So I finished giving him the number. Later on, so I dropped, and then I saw that Facebook, the Truecaller showed Facebook hacker. And before I knew it, it still didn't connect because I had to go. So I was trying to make a post that morning, and when I got to where I was going to, and I saw that my Facebook was saying log out. And I believe, what your program is very relevant because a lot of us are very ignorant. I was totally ignorant. I didn't know things like that was happening. I didn't know people can sit down and try to hijack someone else's account and then use it for whatever, whatever. I didn't know it was existing. And so it was me working in ignorance and being stupid. Let me use that word. That was how, so when my Facebook said log out, if I had known or heard that if something like this, what I should do is to uninstall my Facebook, my account. What I did was to click log out. Immediately I did that, that was it. So as I clicked log out, he took it. And so sadly, my Facebook was also connected to my Instagram. But luckily, because I had to park my car when I noticed what was going on. The guys are very sophisticated and very fast. So before I knew it, they were already replying messages. I didn't notice because I wasn't checking my phone. So I noticed that someone sent me a message, a DM via Instagram. And I noticed someone else was replying. And I told the person, stop writing. Someone is replying with my Instagram. And that was how I knew I had been hacked. I managed to recover my Instagram, thankfully, because I would have been hurt by that one. I've been building. I mean, even the Facebook, I have a lot of followings on my Facebook, but at least I managed to recover my Instagram with the emails. By the time I took time to do that one and did the two-step verification and all that, it was late for the Facebook. And then from November, this thing happened. I reported to police because I knew, I mean, people were already telling me they are approaching them, sending them stuff. People were already falling victim and sending money. So I reported to police, but they said, I mean, we can't do much. I also reported to another security agency that even tracked the number and saw the location where the person is. But to make arrest was the issue. So I felt, okay, maybe with time it's going to die down. And I started another Facebook. So unfortunately, that's where the cloning now started. What he does is whatever post I make in my new account, he will just take it. So my birthday was on the 4th. He took my recent pictures with my family and put on that page, and they had over 500 people commenting and all that. And people that day, that particular day, someone sent 200K because he made a post that there's something, I don't know, I can't remember something that he was, and someone gave 200,000. 2 days after, that was when someone gave 415,000. I mean, people have been.
Wow. Chinemema, you just have to continue with the story. I hope we have her. The network cannot at this time be not nice to us. Chinemema, are you there? Hello, Chinemema.
Is posting every day, maybe still relevant. And I wish you can put it out there so that people will know that we need to be aware. This is a digital time. We can't be ignorant again. Ignorance is not even an excuse now.
I mean,
if you are ignorant, is not bliss, you're going to suffer.
I mean, Chinemema, see, my mouth was, I was trying as much as possible to shut my mouth up because it just had no option than to open. I mean, the extent, tell us about the extent of the damage. How much do you think, the guy was able to get? How many people fell victim of it? How did he send the messages to them? While we're talking on the screen, some messages were popping up. Is it that they didn't know,
some of the messages that people, so the starting out to me to say they lost money. And there are other people that are ashamed to even say that they gave them money. So the man that gave 200,000 said he's so ashamed that he doesn't want me to report his own because he's a very respectable person. The lady that gave 415,000 is a banker. So people, for me, it was sad because I mean, these are respectable people. They're also young people. I'm a youth counselor. How can I be asking people for money? People I'm guiding, how can I be asking them for money? So there are people that have not even reached out to me to say I gave money, but I know there are a lot. And I mean, the guy is so crazy that last week he called me on the phone and started pretending to be someone that lost money. I lost 75,000. And I was running around. I said, okay, send me the account that you paid the money to. He forwarded his account, and then he started laughing on the phone. I said that I should just calm down. I should be calming down. That he called me to thank me, that he's making a lot of money from my account. And I had to put off because I was so upset. He now came to my Instagram, my WhatsApp, and started telling me, thank you. That's one of this thing I sent to you. And he said that he just wants to thank me, that he's making a lot of money, that I should just give him, that he has target of reaching 4 million. That once he hits the 4 million, he will give me back the account. I was so angry that I just blocked him and I reported him. That was how I lost most of it. Yeah, that's where. Good man. Thanks so much. You know how much your Facebook account, I felt so bad. I said, God, why is this happening? I mean, this guy is enjoying tormenting me. I've managed to send out messages. I've managed to do direct messages. I've managed to call a couple of people to help me post on their wall to say, I have been hacked, so that people don't fall victim or fall prey to this. I mean, it's very sad. I don't know what else. I believe, I'm hoping that people will also watch this so that they will know that account that has my full name, Chinemema Mesaka, has been hacked.
Chinemema, I mean, thank you so much for sharing with us. I believe many Nigerians have seen this, and this is going to be available on YouTube, on Facebook, every other platform, so that people will not fall victim of this thing. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Chinemema.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This is what we connect with Ola Ajibola. He's a digital media expert, and he'll be telling us how to avoid falling into traps like this. I mean, see the amount of money people have lost. Somebody sending 415,000, 200,000. In these times, no, we shouldn't allow this, keep going on. So, Ola, if you're here with us, thanks for joining us on Tech Hub.
Hello, good evening. It's my pleasure to be here.
Ola, you heard what Chinemema said. What's your reaction to that?
Yes, Yes, I heard that, and it's just very unfortunate. Um, we've been preaching against this internet fraud and security issue over a while now, for years now. Online piracy, phishing, and all of that. It's just unfortunate that it has gotten this bad. It has. I was dealing with a particular case like this, I think last week, of a friend of mine too. Just the same story and all of that. And I think it's very important that we need to be more security conscious about our activities online. We definitely can say, because there are a lot of challenges, disadvantage, incidents like this, that the internet did not mean well for us, and we can't do businesses online. But unfortunately, it has come to that point where we have to be extremely careful. Information management, information privacy. Keep a little of yourself, as little as you can online. Put your business out there, but your personal life, it's that time where we need to start separating uh, business from personal life. It's unfortunate Chinemere got into this, and a whole lot of our friends, people who look up to her, people who respect her, are all victim of it. It's really very sad and unfortunate.
What are the ways that people fall victim of this cybercrime act? You know, Chinemema just mentioned earlier on that somebody just called her from nowhere and was hurrying her to send a code to read out a number and the rest of them. What are the ways? Why I'm saying this is that with this WhatsApp policy update, I got a lot of questions, and people were being sent different links to click on to upload the latest WhatsApp, WhatsApp. And I'm shocked that why is this happening? So what are the ways that some of these guys, make people fall victim of their cybercrime acts?
Okay, quickly. Most of the times, these guys are very desperate. They are desperate people. They are not the very intelligent people, because what the problem with most of us most times is nonchalance. You are impatient. You are just nonchalant. You just careless sometimes. Having said that, I will also say most times you should always verify information. Like banks would always tell you, like every organized institution will tell you, never send a pin to anybody. Nobody is ever going to ask you for anything. I think that message we should imbibe it more in our subconscious. If you need to do anything, Facebook will never call you. In fact, even if you have issues you need to escalate, you need to report, it's very difficult to reach out. So talk less of Facebook calling you or somebody calling you from Facebook office to do any upgrade or not. So we should be first of all careful about people calling us. It's a scam. Whoever calls you to ask for your PIN, for any code or anything, first of all, by default, let it be in your mind that it is a scam. And then secondly, when there are updates, the updates do not come from messages. Most times, every time, updates come in notification. You check your notification tab and you see it, or you go to your settings or whichever application you use. That's where you find updates or upgrades. It will never come as a text or anything to upgrade. Whenever it comes, you should be suspicious of scam. Another thing they do is they shorten their URLs. They will not send you the legitimate URL. They shorten the URLs, and sometimes they put a correct URL and then hyperlink to a false URL. So this is how they play this game most times. Sometimes they could have cloned, for the ones that are code related, what we can actually do is to avoid sending code to people. People we don't, even people we know, not just people we don't know. People we know, people never send code to anybody. And then never use the same password for all your social media handles. If you have a password for Facebook, you can change 2 digits there. For Instagram, change 2 digits. For you, all your platform, never use the same password for every one of them. For those they send link to, other ways you can check is once somebody send you a link to copy that link and put it on Google and see what pops up. If it's an email, most of them who do email scam also do that. In an email scam, if you get an email from somebody, right-click on the sender and do copy email address. By the time you do the copy email address, you realize that that is not it. Then sometimes you can pay attention on the website in case you mistakenly click into a link that takes you to the website. Because sometimes these guys can clone Facebook. just as it is. And then you have to watch out for few details. Sometimes you might just have the Facebook have three O's instead of two. So it can be FACEBOOOK. You know, it's very slight difference. Then when you get to the home page, it looks exactly the same thing. So sometimes you want to look out for all of this. And another thing is the website we visit is very important that we don't drop information, we don't log in, we don't register on any site anyhow. Sometimes I advise people to have two emails, one email for your primary and important transaction online, and you can have a backup email that you can use for randoms. Okay, so you don't use one single email to log in onto multiple channels. People would always are excited about online. You want to get a lot of information online. Some people visit some dark websites. You know, understand? We understand that sometimes for research sake, you might do that. For your personal pleasure, you can do that. But you have to be careful when you do that. And what I advise people is there. For instance, if you're a Chrome user, Chrome has something they call incognito, which means you can surf online without anybody tracing, tracking, or stealing your identity online. You just want to go anonymous. It's part of you can choose from your browsing option on Chrome. I know Chrome has that, for instance. You select user and go to whatever you do in that mode. Your phone, your mobile device, or your laptop doesn't save anything you do online at that particular moment. So those are some of the few things we can put to check to stay safe. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is too smart. But most times these guys are not too smart. Okay, so it's just we do not pay attention to details. If anybody calls you, never give your code to anybody at all, be it your neighbor, your family, never. And then avoid using your account on two devices at the same time. And as Chimemere also mentioned, she said she tried to do a two-step verification. The moment I think at this point, everyone should imbibe that. Do two-step verification for every of your accounts. They can still penetrate, but it's harder for somebody to hack into your account and still want to get access to your phone.
Okay, Ola, let's not get too technical because there's some people that are watching that are not as technical. So can you explain what this two-step verification is so they can go to their phone as you are speaking and get it done?
Okay, two-step verification says, for instance, if I want to log in into my Gmail, into my Facebook, for instance, I don't want to use my password alone. It means after I use my password, I still want to get a code on my telephone, either connected online or not connected. So which means if somebody is in wherever he is that wants to hack my phone, he or she must have access to my phone to receive a text message to say, go ahead to do this. On Android device, for instance, they will tell you that you have to prompt whatever browser or device that you are prompting to log in. It will tell you to press a button on your phone to confirm that you are the same person. So on these settings, you go to your settings on your Facebook account, your Instagram, your YouTube, your Gmail, your Yahoo Mail. You go to your settings and you go to privacy and security. Then you follow the steps. Click on two-step verification. It will ask you for your mobile number, and then to ask you some other security questions. So which in this case is always difficult to hack. In the case of Chimemere, I don't think our problem was not totally of two-step verification or that she had a password stolen. I think it was a problem of nonchalant. She didn't pay attention. She was the one that even gave that, because even if you have two-step verification and they send you a text, if somebody calls you and you supply that information, you already notify the essence of having those two-step verification. So the most important thing is first, be discreet about your password. But that is the step to follow on two-step verification.
To people, so some people fell victim. I mean, she fell victim and she carried others along with her, which are her followers. They had to lose money to somebody who they don't know. Now, how do we know this person is a scammer? She sends me a message. How do I get to know from somebody who is reliable asking me, please give me this amount of money? How do I know this person is a scammer?
Okay, first of all, I'm sure when you are following somebody, your followership must have exceeded a day, 2, a week, a month, and probably a year. If in the history of a particular influencer you are following, an account you are following, friend or family member, there have not been any incident in this person calls you up for favors or ask you to do this or do that. If you are seeing it for the first time, it should arouse suspicion. And another thing is people can get broke or get in a situation that they need urgent help. I think what is safe to do is always reach out to them on phone, call them up. If possible, do video call. There's nothing embarrassing about it. I buzz you out. I say, please, I need some money. I'm in distress. If you need my money, if you're able to pick a video call. So this is very, very common around parts, but it shouldn't just be via text. Somebody shouldn't just send you a text on Instagram or Facebook. Try to talk to the person. And then when you were sending that money, the moment you post it in when you try to make transfer, did it pop out the person's name? So those are some of the things you want to be careful about. Any mobile app used in Nigeria now, I'm sure the moment you put an account number, it pops up the name of the receiver. So did you check for all of those details? But primarily and most importantly, the moment somebody reach out to you online, especially somebody you do not have business with online for any form of payment, the first thing to do is to place a call through, if possible, video call, just to avoid situation like this of scamming.
Thank you so much, Ola Jibola, a digital media expert, for breaking it down to us how we can protect ourselves so we don't fall victim of the guys that are not so smart. Yes, they are not so smart, actually. All we just need to do is pay attention. Thank you so much for joining us on Tech Hub.
My pleasure.
All right, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. Anybody can be a victim. Anybody. But it is avoidable. Let us take the lessons that we have learned and protect ourselves in the world that has gone virtual. That is all that we can take on today's edition of Tech Hub. Please drop your questions. If you have any security questions, drop them on social media at Mercy Frank or at Silverbird News 24. Remember, COVID-19 is real and swift in its spread. Remember to always avoid it. This video is going to be available on YouTube in the next 10 minutes. So watch and share with your friends. Until the next episode of Tech Hub, please stay safe even in this online world. My name is Mercy Frank. Thanks for watching.